80s receiving students and teachers? Thank you. Take your seats. Right, sitting up class and the receiving students, we are going to continue on from where we have stopped in our last lesson. Our last lesson was on adding and subtracting algebraic terms. May I ask the students who were holding on to the fruit cards to please come up in front and get into your two groups that you have been or you are in now. Thank you. Let's move. 80s. All right, is Peter here? Peter, you tell us what was the answer you got when you added the fruits from each of those groups.
Four orange, 5 banana, 2 lemons, and 3 peanut.
Very good. Okay, let's confirm that. Now, the group on this side, please, I'd like you to move over and look for your partners that have the same fruit as yourself and stand together. You as well on this side, your group members, you look for your partners who have the same fruit as yourself and get together. Let's move now. Move over. Go and look for your partner and stand together. We are now trying to confirm Peter's answer. Please stand together. Some of you can stand at the back and some in front. Okay. All right, so Peter said 4 oranges, 2 lemons. How many peanuts? Peanuts, please. Those ones at the back, lift your papers up. Lift your cards up. How many peanuts, class? 3 peanuts. And how many bananas? 5 bananas. Very good. All right, good. I'd like you students here, the 5 of you, 5 of you here to please just move to the side and face the board. Those ones there to also face the board because I am going to explain on how to calculate the answer for what you have done. So please, let's all be watching from where we are. Thank you. All right, so again, when we are adding algebraic terms, we collect the like terms, terms that have the same pro-numeral. Are we listening? Yeah. Now, so what should I do? 2 oranges plus 2 oranges. I'm collecting the like terms plus 1 lemon in one group, another lemon in another group, 3 bananas plus 2 bananas plus 2 peanuts plus 1 peanut. Okay, and like Peter has given us the answer, 4 oranges plus 2 lemons plus 5 bananas plus 3 peanuts. Okay, that is the simplified answer of this expression, right? Now, we have already confirmed our answer by you looking at the number of fruits the students have got. This time we are going to do the opposite, which is subtracting algebraic terms. So now I'd like all you students holding the cards to move into that room that we have here. So can you all go and hide yourselves now? You will hide yourselves by staying in that room. Thank you. Move over. And I'd like you to listen to your names. As soon as your names are called, you come out. Right, receiving students and the model class, those of us here remaining, we are now going to do the opposite of adding, which is subtracting algebraic terms. Now, let's see. I am going to call each one of them to come out and we will see who is going to be out. All right. I'd like Uh, two, two oranges to come out, please. Those two students holding two oranges, please come out. Philippa and sorry, Christina and our friend, thank you. And go back to your seats, please. Right, the students holding two lemons, please come outside and go back to your seats. Okay, those of us sitting, please try to remember how many of them are coming out. Right, good. Now, let's have 3 bananas to come out. Please decide among yourself. 1. Next one, move out. Thank you, Jamie. Right, and let's see, let's have 2 peanuts to move out. All right, class, do you think there are some students still left in the room, hiding? All right, receiving students. And I hope you have the answer. How many students are left? Now, let me write the expression down on the board so you can, that will help you to simplify the expressions to get the answer. Let's see, we started with, remember, 4 oranges plus how many? 2 lemons, 5 bananas, and 3 peanuts. That's okay. Now we are trying to subtract. I'd like someone, those of us who sat here, to come up and write how many students came out from their room or came out from their hiding area. Starting with orange. How many oranges moved out? All right, okay, I will do it, help you. 2 oranges moved out. How many lemons walked out? 2 lemons plus and how many peanuts walked out? 2 peanuts? All right, if you are giving me the wrong answer, that means you were not watching carefully. All right, so those are the types of fruits that came out or we brought out from the main group. Okay, let's see. Now we simplify. Again, when we are subtracting and adding, we collect like terms. So who'd like to show us how to simplify? Collecting like terms and then you simplify. Like what I did here for addition. What about subtraction? Who wants to try? Thank you. Let's have our friend there. Good. All right, thank you. You all agree with this answer? Okay, let's confirm to see. He says that's the simplified form, but before you go on to simplifying, we collect the like terms. right? So here we have 4 oranges. Remember, we are not adding this time. What are we doing? Subtracting. So minus, what will I write there? 2 oranges. Why did I get 2 oranges? Because they are like terms. Okay. Then, remember, I have 2 lemons here. Take away, how many lemons on that side that came out? 2 lemons came out. 5 bananas before, and I asked 3 bananas to come out. Is that right? So what should I put here? Subtract 3 bananas or minus 3 bananas. Is that all, or I should continue? Continue? Why? Answer, please. Give me your answer. Why? Why should I continue? Because we still have how many peanuts to do? I'm answering your question now, which is not good. 3 peanuts minus, how many peanuts came out? 2. 2 peanuts came out. Right, let's check our friend's answer. 4 oranges minus 2 oranges, 2 orange, good. 2 lemon minus 2 lemon is 0, no lemon left. And 5 bananas minus 3 bananas will give us 2 bananas. And 3 peanut minus 2 peanut will give us 1 peanut. Any questions? Do you agree? How will we confirm our answer again? In another way, this I wrote it down. What will we do to confirm our answer? Can someone tell me? Thank you.
Call those ones in the room out.
Can you call them, please?
2 orange. Two banana.
Oh, okay. Okay, now let's see. Our answer says 2 oranges, 2 bananas, and 1 peanut. Now, anything wrong? What is wrong? Okay, peanut. Maybe peanut has no ears to listen. All right, good. Let's have the peanut to come in. Thank you. Anyway, Philippa has ears, right? Thank you. So, to confirm our answers now, the opposite of addition is subtraction. We took away some fruits, and here, what's left? The fruits that are left are here. That gives us the answer to our working out. Okay, receiving students, I hope you have the same answer as the model class. Class, give them one big clap. Good, thank you. So you can take your seats now. Take it with you. All right, so class, you were given some activities to do, and those activities are in your workbook. If you can turn to page 31. 31? All right, you have some exercises to do. Remember, again, we all should remember that only like terms may be added or subtraction, and for terms to be like, they must have the exact or same pronumerals. Class, looking up here, we have examples of adding and subtracting like terms. As you can see, let's look at the first one. 2x plus 3x will simply give us 5x. And you come down here, a plus 6a, the answer is 7a. Some of you may think it's 6a. How did I get 7a? Remember, in pronumeral, we have an invisible 1. All right? So therefore, the answer is 7a. 9q minus 7, 2q, and 10x minus xy will give us 9xy. Remember, we have an invisible one in here, which we minus from 10. Right? Your activity that you will be doing for homework, I am sorry, we do not have time to go through that. I'd like you to check for the model class, check those exercises in there. There are some corrections that I want to make. So make sure that you have 16s minus s for letter A. Do you have that? Yes. All right, and the next one, receiving teacher, you can copy this down if you don't have your handbook with you. 4x minus 6x minus 7x. Please make your correction if you don't have that. Next one, 8q plus 9q. Check. 14x minus 6x plus 2x. Remember, you will come across expressions that have both subtraction and addition sign. Do you know how to do that when you are faced with two operations? Yes or no? All right, let's see this one as an example. 14x minus 6x would give you 8x. And that's not the answer. What are you going to do? Add 2x, and the answer would be 10x. All right. In our next lesson, we will go through the answers. Please keep checking. Next, letter E, 5v minus 8v, 7w plus 17w. Check. 7e minus 8e, 10m minus 4m plus m. Did you check? Let's move on to the next one, I and j. Okay, make sure that you have the correct terms written. Is that all? Shall we move? Okay. The next exercise, which is exercise 2 on your workbook, 1A has been done for you as an example. You are going to start with B to letter I. So please check. All right. I think B to E is okay. Let's move to next one. You will find that letter F. Look at letter F on your workbook. You have powers. 7x to the power of 3. I'd like you to get rid of the 3. Remove the 3, the power 3. So you should have only 7x minus y minus 12 minus 5y plus xy. Right. The rest should be okay. Now let's move on to what we have to do for today. Class, are you satisfied? Okay, I hope that you are satisfied and you will do this activity for homework. We will go through the corrections later on. I won't promise you when, but receiving teachers, please find time to do corrections on this exercise. Now, for today's lesson, class, we are going to multiply and divide algebraic terms. Have a look here. First of all, we will look at multiplying algebraic terms. Class, looking up here, I am going to start you off with an example here. Let's read this expression together.
7a times 3bc times 2.
All right, so when we are multiplying algebraic terms, there are steps for us to follow. Class, let's read step number 1.
Put the missing multiplication signs.
All right. As you can see here, this expression says 7a times 3bc times 2. The first step that we must follow is to put the missing multiplication sign. So here, 7a, the missing multiplication sign comes between 7 and a, which is 7 times a times 3 times b times c times 2. So now, in other words, we are expanding, okay? And we are separating these pronumerals by putting the multiplication sign. Clear? Let's see what step number 2 is for us to follow. Class, let's read together.
Rearrange so that numbers are together at the start.
Okay, so what we are going to do now, we rearrange, bring all the numbers together to be at start, which means 7 times 3 times 2, and then we put the pronumerals after the numbers, times A times B times C. So multiply the numbers. Step number 3 says multiply the numbers. 7 times 3 will give you? 21. Is that the answer? No. You still have to multiply by 2. 42 is the answer, times A plus B, and the last step, you take out the multiplication sign, and the answer is 42ABC. All right? Now, let's go on to dividing. When dividing algebraic terms, what must we do? What are the steps that we should take? Let's look at the example here. 8m divided by 2m. First step says put the missing multiplication signs and write the division as fraction. So you write the division sign as fraction, meaning 8m on 2m, or 8m over 2m. Right? And what must you do for the second step? Reduce the numbers to their simplest fractional form. So 8m simply is 8 times m. 2m is simply 2 times m. What you do, you reduce, crossing out. What number did I use to reduce this fraction? 2. 2 will go into 8 how many times? 4 times. And 2 will go into 2? 1 time. So 4 times m, 1 times m. Guess what the last step would be? Sorry, the second last step is you cancel any pronumeral factors that appear in both the numerator and the denominator. Okay, we have finished with the numbers. Now we look at the pronumerals. So we cancel m, and m becomes 1 and 1 for the denominator. Numerator 1 and denominator 1. Our answer, final answer would be 4 on 1 or 4. Right? Just to go back on what we have done, again, when you are faced with a problem to divide algebraic terms, put them in a fractional form, include the multiplication sign, then you simplify. After simplifying the numbers, you simplify the letters or the pronumerals, and you end up with your final answer. Okay, receiving students and model class, you have that example in your in your workbook. You can follow that as you complete the other activities. Now let's have a look at our exercise to do. Class, I'd like you to do, copy all that down. Since we are running out of time, just copy this down, and for the receiving students, teacher, please copy this down for your students to complete, and try to check if what I have here is the same as what you have in your workbook. Okay, so the model class, please check your exercise on page 33. Model class, I'd like you to try to solve letter I and letter J. We are going to go through the working out of those two letters in class, I and J. All right, in your previous lessons in term 2, you learned about multiplying and dividing directed numbers, right? So, remember the rules. When you are multiplying numbers that are negative, what would be the answer? If you are multiplying a number that is positive and negative, what would be the answer in? All right. So, may I have your attention? Let's have a look here. Let's say this is minus a negative number times a negative number. Your answer will be in positive, right? And if you have a positive number times a positive number, your answer will be positive. Negative number times a negative number, your answer will be, sorry? Negative number times a positive number, your answer will be negative. And if you have a positive number times a negative number, your answer negative. Right? So this is just a simple reminder when you are multiplying directed numbers. All right, let's see who has finished I and J. A few seconds for those of us who are still calculating. All right, let's have someone to come up and show us the working out for I, letter I. Mark? Hands up. You agree? Good. Hands down. Hands up if you disagree. All right, let's see. Who disagrees? Nobody. Or you're sitting on the fence, meaning you're not sure whether this is right or wrong. Okay, let's see. This is 4 times minus 5y. So the answer is minus 20y. Okay, so what we do, we separate 4 times minus y times y. Okay, so 4 times minus 5 will give you 20 times y. Our rule says get rid of the times sign, which will be 20y. Sorry, minus 20y. All right, letter J, let's do J together in class. Minus 3 times, not x, times minus 7y. Hands up, please. Who's got the answer for us? Give us your answer for this.
Positive 21y.
Very good, positive 21y. So we have minus 3 times minus 7 times y. We have 21 times y, which will give you positive 21y. No need for you to write the positive sign. It's still, if you don't see the positive sign, that's still a positive number, positive 21y. All right, so you will do more practice. Complete 8 A down to L, excluding I and J, because I and J, we did that together in class. Now, let's look at some more exercises for you to do. Class, you will find this exercise in your 8B book. I made a note at the bottom of your workbook, 8B book, page 29 to 31. Similar exercises like this, you would find that in that book, and please do complete those exercises. All right, let's look up here. 3 times 2 will give you 6x, 4 times 4x, 8x, and what you do, you can multiply down this way, yes, or across. So 6 times 8x to the power of x, 2 will give you 48x to the power of 2. 6 times 8x will give you 48x to the power of 2. All right, so I'd like you to check. These are some exercises which you will be doing. Right, activity 3, you have your activity 3 is for you to find the area of these given shapes. We are going to do this as an example together in class, and I'll let you to do B and C at your own time. Now the instruction says write an algebraic expression for these areas. Class, what is the area? What is the formula that we use to calculate area? Length times width. So if I want to write an algebraic expression for this rectangle here, which has the length from here to here 2x, not 2 times 2x, and from here to here is x, which is the width. How will I write that using the expression? A is equal to, A stands for area. Okay, so A is equal to length times width. Remember, I will replace L and W with the pronumerals there, which is, what is the length? 2x times 6. And what would be the area of that shape? 12x. Right? So this is the algebraic expression. A is equal to, the expression that we use to calculate the area is A is equal to length times width, and we substituted, we replaced length by 2x and the width with 6 according to our diagram, and we came up with the answer as 12x. Now let's see the next two. You will do that again in class. That's all to do with multiplication. What about division? You have your division exercises there for you to do, and please do that. Refer back to the rules when you are dividing and multiplying powers. Right, with that class, we will go through all those answers in our next lesson. Our key phrase for today's activity is multiplying and dividing algebraic terms. Our next lesson will be on using distributive law to expand algebraic terms, and our materials needed a balance, but the balance will be needed in the lessons that are yet to come, and your 8B textbook, not your 8A textbook, 8B textbook. Right, thank you class for participating.